Welcome to this video on truth value. Truth value is a topic that is covered in section 1.1. Truth value is a characteristic of statements such that they are either true or false. Another way to say this is that truth value is a trait that only statements have such that they are either true or false. If you saw the video regarding the differences between statements and sentences, you'll know that there are other sentences that do not have truth value, such as questions and commands, and so those are not statements. A statement can either be true or false, and basically those are the only two possibilities, and that's really what it means for the statement to have truth value, that it can either be one of those two, and it has to be one of those two. And having one of those two would mean that there is truth value. So notice that this means that a statement can be false and still have truth value. Let's look at some examples. The sun is a star. Okay, this is a statement that is true, and so because it is true, and because statements have to be either true or false, then it has truth value. Paris is the capital of the United States. Okay, this is a statement that is clearly false, but notice that because it is false, the statement does have truth value. So the important point to understand here is that statements can be false, and if they are false, they still have truth value. In other words, they don't have to be true in order for them to have truth value, but if they are true, then of course they have truth value. So both the sun is a star and Paris is the capital of the United States have truth value, one being true, the other one being false. Okay, let's do a couple of more exercises similar to the ones on the video about the differences between statements and sentences. These exercises are all geared to prepare you for homework number 1. So if you have seen both the first and the second video, you will be ready to do homework number 1, because by then we would have done at least 8 sample practice exercises similar to the ones you will have on the homework. Okay, so determine whether the following are statements or propositions. Remember, another name for statements is propositions. If they are not statements, determine what kind of sentences they are. Okay, Berlin is the capital of Germany. That is a statement that is true, right? It could be false, but it is true. Again, whether it's true or false doesn't matter. The important point is here that that is a statement. Paris is the capital of Germany. Okay, that is also a statement, and this one is false, because Paris is the capital of France. Paris is not the capital of Germany. But it still has truth value, and thus it is a statement. How do I get to Ocean Avenue? Okay, this is not a statement, this is a question. So on your homework, if you have anything that is a question, you would write something like, this is not a statement, it is a question. And the important point to understand here is that this does not have truth value. It's a different kind of sentence, it's a question. Please bring me my wine. Okay, this does not have truth value. This is a command. It's basically a polite command. And so because it's a command, it cannot be true or false, so it is not a statement. So on your homework you would write, this is a command. And of course that means that it is not a statement or a proposition. Okay, so this is our second video. With videos 1 and 2, you should be able to do homework number 1. And it is, of course, very important to do each homework assignment, because that's what's going to prepare you for the quizzes.